Hey guys, welcome back, or if you're new here, hi, I'm Sophie. It's been a bit of a while, I'm not gonna lie. As you can probably tell from my channel, I haven't posted in a while. It's a little bit bare, but I'm back. So this is going to be like a get to know me video, like opening up, talking about mental health. People have asked some questions, so I'll answer some of them as well. And yeah, just so you can get to know like who I am and like, I don't know, just a bit about me, because it's been a while since I've posted. Yeah, I don't know, I just kind of want a bit of a fresh start. So if you're new here and you don't know me, I'm Sophie Louise. I am 22. I'm about to turn 23, so it's my birthday next month. It's my birthday on the 10th of May. I currently live in Glasgow in Scotland. Nothing exciting. I work in a pub. I live with my granddad. He's cute, he's so lovely, and he's my best friend. It's about as interesting as life gets. Yeah, and I mean, I think those are like the main things that you really need to know. So we'll go a little drive and we'll just talk. I'll just talk and tell you. And then after that, I'll answer some questions that people have put in on my Instagram. Yeah, so let's go. Hi, can I just have a regular hot chocolate with caramel syrup, please? Hi.
Check the name for you.
That's fine. Thank you. Thank you so much, that's great. See you later. Eee! So I think to start with, my first kind of main and most like difficult problem that I face like on a day-to-day basis is a phobia that I have, which is called emetophobia. Probably not many people will know what this is. So emetophobia is a fear of sick. So for me, I mean, it's different for everyone obviously, but for me this is everything revolving around sick basically, whether it's like myself feeling or being sick, or you know, worrying that I've, you know, got a bug or whatever, to also other people feeling or being sick or being ill around me, which obviously leads to a lot of like avoidance behaviours and stuff like that. So basically this one phobia, I mean, I've had since I was a child, since I'd say roughly like 10 years old. I can't really remember what, I mean, I don't really know what started it or kind of exactly when it started even. I do get counselling just now, which does help. I do a bit of like CBT and exposure therapy for this. We're trying to kind of obviously dig a bit deeper into what could have caused it and things like that. Like, I still have memories like glued in my head from when other kids in school were sick, and or if they were like sick in class or, you know, outside or wherever, like these are things that I remember so vividly, as much as I obviously don't want to, not so much anymore, but like sometimes when I was feeling really bad or I was panicky or whatever, like these kind of memories, I just couldn't stop thinking about them. So that's kind of a breakdown of what the fear is. But more recently, like the past 2-ish years, I'd say, it's kind of led into other phobias. Everything's kind of feeding off of this one phobia of sick. So now I'm like a huge germaphobe with like OCD and health anxiety and stuff like that. It's gotten bad. I mean, when I was in high school and stuff, I never, obviously I washed my hands, right? I'm not saying I was a pure thing or whatever, but like I didn't care as much. Like I could eat something and not think, oh my god, have I washed my hands first? Like this is where I'm at now, that I would refuse to eat anything until I've washed my hands thoroughly right before it. If I touch stuff, then I'm paranoid that what if something that I've touched somebody else has touched and there's now germs on it, like even in the house. And it's obviously silly because I mean, I know I keep the house clean. If I ever, you know, if I go to the shops, I'm washing my shopping, I'm washing my hands, I'm washing my phone, I'm washing the counter it's became a lot, and it's like, it's one of those things that obviously quite heavily affects like day-to-day life. It is a struggle sometimes, because it's like, no matter where I go or what I do, I'm like, but what if it's dirty? But what if I've touched something? And it's all out of the worry, what if I get sick from it? So this has gotten really, really bad, so I struggle every day with this, and anxiety obviously doesn't help, because then as soon as I start worrying, I get obviously anxious that I'm sick, and then I feel sick, and then the anxiety makes me feel more sick, and then I end up having anxiety attacks and panic attacks, like thinking that I'm going to be sick even though I've just worked myself up into this state. I do actually have problems with my stomach, so I feel sick a lot anyway. I feel sick most days. There's a lot of foods and drinks and whatever that can like hugely trigger my stomach, so I often suffer with like stomach pains and heartburn and nausea and, you know, all the good stuff basically. So anytime my stomach flares up, and then I'm like, oh my god, I don't feel well, like have I got a bug? And then I overanalyze, like, oh, but I was out today, I was at the shops, like what if I've picked up a bug? But I'm starting to get better at like being able to tell the difference between my stomach feeling sick, anxiety feeling sick, and then like actually feeling sick. Sometimes, not always, like 50-50. So the phobia has led into being a germaphobe, OCD, health anxiety, all of that kind of stuff. But then on the flip side of that as well, I now have a really unhealthy relationship with food as well. I mean, for about a year I was vegan because I was like so scared of cooking meats like chicken and stuff like that out of the fear of food poisoning. I have always kind of struggled with like, you know, body image and food and diet and being conscious of my weight and things like that. Like it's always been something that have been kind of insecure about anyway. But more recently, over the past kind of year or two, all of these kind of feelings and problems have been like heightened hugely. So it's more concerning now than it ever was before I could cope. Much better. So now my relationship with food is pretty bad. I don't always eat enough. I mean, I count my calories pretty religiously these days. I feel super guilty if I eat something, you know, like that I maybe shouldn't or whatever. If I have some chocolate, or, you know, like if I maybe binge eat one day, and I will just feel so guilty, which then leads to exercising to try and like make up for the fact that I've maybe not ate good. And basically my whole relationship and kind of outlook on food is super unhealthy and probably pretty bad for me as well. All of these kind of problems are all really tied in and linked to or caused by this one phobia of sick, which when I think about it is pretty ridiculous really. But yeah, I mean, on top of this, I do also nowhere near as bad as I used to, but I do struggle a little bit with like just kind of generalised like anxiety. So I mean, back when I was in high school, I did struggle a lot. Like I struggled quite badly, I can't lie. At that time there was a lot going on, kind of, you know, family wise. I struggled in school, I didn't really like school. I mean, I was kind of bullied in school as well, nobody really liked me. I was just always a bit different. People, I guess people found me weird. I have ADHD as well, which I haven't said yet, but yeah, I have ADHD, so I've always been perceived as kind of weird anyway. Yeah, I do get hyper quite a lot, and you know, I am a bit mad, like, and I don't have a filter, and now I don't really care, but at the time I was like, what do you mean I'm weird? Like, I'm not weird. But yeah, so I wasn't really well liked in school. I went through it quite bad during my high school years. So from like 12 to 16 was like a really rough time frame for me. during those years I struggled really badly with my mental health. I mean, back then I kind of, you know, I like self-harmed, and you know, I was really down then. I had a lot of like suicidal thoughts at the time, and yeah, I mean, it is hard to talk about. I'd be lying if I said I didn't feel a bit like uncomfortable talking about it, but it's important at the same time. I might not feel that way now, but I did, and it's part of my story, so you know, embrace it. It's obviously not nice, and I wish I never felt that way, but it is, like, it just is. It's part of me, and it's part of who I am, and like why I'm the way I am now. So yeah, I mean, I'm a good few years clean from any of that stuff. Like, it's been years and years since I've like self-harmed or anything, which is great. I don't ever feel down like that anymore, ever. I mean, sometimes you can get like, you know, intrusive thoughts like it's just not anything I feel like I would ever act upon now. Anyway, I mean, I'm getting a little bit off topic now, I feel. So that was kind of past stuff, but it all like ties in together, I think. So I do feel like it's important to just be honest about these things, and just be open, and like obviously tell you guys like that this is something I've struggled with before. I mean, if there's people watching this and they felt the same way, it's okay. I mean, it gets better. It's been probably like 5 years now since I've done anything like that, and yeah, I mean, obviously at the time I just felt like there's no way it'll get better. There's no way I can, you know, get past any of this. There's no way that I will ever feel good and happy, and you know, but I do. Like, it does. It just does get so much better. So yeah, I just felt like it was so important that, especially with the kind of journey I'm on now and the stuff I'm trying to do, I'm like determined to kind of put myself on a journey to learn to love myself again, and to be comfortable and happy in me and in my body. Yeah, so I feel like it's really important to own these things, own the past, own your mistakes, own all of this, and to let myself be vulnerable and seen this way, because I seem to have set the most unrealistic standards for myself that I can't let anybody see me in a negative light. And that's probably why, you know, I've always been so reluctant to be open about these kind of things, and to talk about it, and to obviously express myself the way that I would like to. But I'm now realising that that's just so silly. Like, I shouldn't ever care about what other people think. Like, as long as I'm happy, why does anyone else's opinions or thoughts on me or what I do matter in any way at all? They don't. It's completely irrelevant. I mean, yeah, it's taken me a long time to have this mindset. It really has. But anyway, basically my point is, because I feel like I'm rambling and I'm completely missing the point. Basically, I'm on a journey. I'm determined to be positive, but also be honest and open if I'm not feeling that way. Social media is just, it can be so toxic, but only if you let it be. All these kind of influencers and stuff are setting the most ridiculous like standards of how girls should look and how girls should dress, and that they always live these amazing, glamorous, like unproblematic lives, and that's obviously not true. It's obviously not the case. Everybody struggles, everybody has problems, but when you live your life in the light and you choose to not publicise them, then obviously you're a bit more reluctant to to share those experiences. So that's my point. Yeah, so that's all with that really, I think, that I wanted to kind of talk about. So I mean, I think I've got a couple of questions that people ask me on Instagram, so I mean, I'll go through some of them. And yeah, I think that's about as much as you really need to know about me at this point. If you have any other questions, obviously after this video ends, if your question hasn't been answered, leave some in the comments and I can always make a part 2. But yeah, so we'll just get to the questions now. First question is favourite animal. Okay, so this is going to sound like the most basic thing to say, but let me finish. So my favourite animal is a dog, but it's a very specific kind of dog, and it is a sausage dog, and I'm so obsessed. I just think they're so cute, and their wee bellies, and they're so long, and I just love them so much, honestly. Oh, sausage dogs, man, they hold a special place in my heart. Next question is the things you enjoy. The things I enjoy, I obviously enjoy making videos and vlogging and editing. I studied sound production for a couple of years, so I enjoy parts of that. So like making music and remixing and obviously singing. I like drawing and colouring in and jigsaws. I like to exercise. I like being active. I like doing fun things. I like going adventures. I like doing anything like that. Anything like fun and spontaneous. Obviously I like music. I like concerts. I like roller coasters. I like I like travelling. I like swimming, but I can't swim very well. There's a fun fact, I can barely swim. I like going drives in little Tina, so my car's called Tina because she's a Toyota, so Tina the Toyota, and she's adorable. Yeah, I like so many things, so that's a hard one to answer, but there's a big list of lots of things that I like. Dream holiday. Ooh, I think I would prefer, no, I definitely would prefer like a sunny holiday than like a kind of exploring holiday. So like, I think the kind of ideal holiday would be like Thailand, Australia. Yeah, places like that would be like a dream holiday, I guess. But then on the flip side, I want to go to places like Amsterdam and Canada. I mean, I'd like to go to America. Yeah, I mean, I basically would ideally like to go everywhere once at least. Another question, what is something you're passionate about? That's hard, because I mean, I'm passionate about this, like the YouTube and the social medias and the singing and stuff, but it's not something that I've been taking all that seriously recently as well. But it is something that I'm passionate about, like content creation and stuff like that. How has the pandemic affected your mindset? That is a great question. That is a very deep question. So I think at the start it didn't affect me much. I mean, it was kind of weird like being off work and we couldn't leave the house or anything. But it didn't really seem to affect me that much at the time. I mean, it was affecting a lot of my friends quite badly, and you know, they were texting me like, I feel rubbish, like I'm so over this, like I just can't believe, you know, we can't leave the house and we can't do this and can't do that. And I was like, I know it sucks, but I mean, I did feel okay at the time. I think it's just been, you know, the longer it's went on, the more it's affected me, because it's obviously over a year of our lives now that we've been in and out of lockdowns and been dealing with COVID in the UK, so it's been a bit crazy. It has also helped me realise that a lot of my friendships weren't genuine, and I only seen them, you know, to go out or, you know, whatever, and that we never really spoke unless we were, you know, hanging out, or if they wanted a drink and things like that. You know, if I was, not many really kept in touch or you know, tried to check in, and I felt like I was always messaging all these people and, you know, all my friends like, hey, like, how's things? And the same favour was never returned. So I feel like the pandemic has helped me determine who's really like a long-term friend, and I've also like got back in touch with some old friends that I haven't spoke to in years, which is obviously great. Like yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that I like lost touch with and that I've managed to get back in touch with through the pandemic, so that's obviously amazing. I couldn't have asked for any kind of better outcomes. But then on the kind of downside to all of that, some of my struggles and things that I've, you know, been speaking about earlier on in the video, the pandemic has like made them a lot worse. So obviously with like the germ stuff and the OCD and the kind of the health anxiety and the phobia and things like that, the pandemic has made all of that so much worse, which has been tough to adjust to all these changes. And at the start I was seeing, you know, people were being so intense with their washing and then others weren't, and I was already quite intense with like my cleaning routine and stuff like that. So at the start I really struggled with knowing what was right, what was too much, what was too obsessive, and then what wasn't enough. Like, I feel like with these kind of things I always need and want like a set in stone answer, and obviously with something like the pandemic that's just not possible. So it has been tough. Yeah, there's been so many positives that have came out of it as well. It's a journey like everything else, you just gotta go with the flow. New hobby I'd like to start. I've always wanted to do like busking, but I've never had the guts to actually do it. Like I've got pretty bad stage fright. That would be good to eventually do one day. What's your favourite colour? My favourite colour is blue. What's your go-to coffee order? I'm probably getting this question because I constantly post pictures of Starbucks. I actually don't even like coffee that much. I tend to only ever get like cream frappuccinos or hot chocolates. When were you born? I was born in 1998 on the 10th of May, so I'm almost 23, which is gross. How long was your longest relationship? I think, I mean, I had a kind of on-off relationship in high school, which I wouldn't really count because obviously it was on and off. I think my longest relationship was like a year and a half maybe, so not that long really. But I've been single for about 3 years, so that's delightful. What's your favourite takeaway food? My favourite is Chinese. Chinese over everything. Ugh, so good. Do you have any tattoos? That question is obviously from someone who hasn't looked through any of my social medias, because I do have a lot of tattoos. A lot of them are quite noticeable. So yeah, I have tattoos. Last question that I can see for just now is, did you like school? And the answer is no, I hated school. Sorry. So I think I've answered everything that people asked me on Instagram. I mean, obviously if you have any more questions, just ask in the comments, and if there's enough, then I mean I'll definitely do a part 2 if there's people interested in me and my life and what I'm like. So yeah, so if you've watched this far and you've actually been interested in getting to know me, thanks, because that means a lot that obviously people care. But yeah, if you've watched, thank you so much. If if you can just leave like a little like and even a comment, any interaction obviously helps and is nice to see. And if you haven't already, please subscribe, and you can hit the bell wherever it is, somewhere around about here I think, and you'll get notifications when I next post. And yeah, thanks. I kind of wanted to do an intro like coming into the car and being like, hey, what's up? But I'm like, is that awkward? I don't know. Should we try it? Hang on. Wait there. Oh, hello! Fancy seeing you here. Hi! Everyone who's here just walks the world with gratitude. Oh, hello! Here's looking at me. Hey Siri, play Disney music on Spotify.
Now playing Disney hits on Spotify.
Okay. We're not gonna live any other way. Bubblegum, cherry pop, up to the house. Hanging with my brothers cause his friends are so hot. It started with a whisper. Oh my god. Oh. Why are you such a gimp? I think the G's supposed to be an S. That's all I'll say. I hate how awkward I am. Oh god, I've got like hair in my mouth. There's someone behind me. If I was to get stranded at sea, I'd probably die. Oops.
Hi David.
It's Saturday, Sunday, what? I'm home, I peed, I'm feeling good. Bye. Granda, you ruined my outro. We'll go again, pretend that didn't happen. Bye.